What's up, y'all? JR Raymond back again, coming to you from Playmore Lanes here in Coldwater, Ohio, where we are taking out that Optimum Idol Pearl. This ball is beautiful. If you like pink and purple, this is the ball for you because this thing is pretty. Now, we'll see. I've thrown it a few times. I threw it on the PBA pattern a little bit, and man, this thing is quick. Like, it gets down there and goes crazy. So, might not be a ball that I would probably use too often on a condition like that. But for league bowlers and whatnot, league bowlers are probably going to love this thing. So we're going to take it out here. I got typical. This one I actually did 45 by 5 by 30, which is what made it so quick. I did the stronger third number. So we're going to take it out here. Got 42-foot league condition. And we're going to see what it looks like in league here in a minute. So stay tuned. All right, here we go. Let's take that new Idol out here now. We got the Optimum Idol Pearl. Pretty pink bowling ball. We're gonna see what it's got playing straighter, and we're gonna move our way left and see what it does. Here we go. Right around that 9, 10, 11 range. All right, it got through there nice. That's another, gotta remind you that this is the house shot laid on top of the PBA pattern. So there's gonna be some remnants of the PBA pattern still out there. So there's gonna be hang to the right. So shots that you miss to the right aren't gonna just completely hook off of it like they're used to, like you're used to seeing. I'm gonna move 5 left now. And that looks pretty good. That, a lot like the Ascent, the Summit Ascent, picked up really nicely down lane. That was impressive, honestly. I didn't think that was going to be as good down lane as that was. I thought it was going to be a whole lot quicker. I thought it was going to be going nuts. I thought somebody was going to kick it sideways. It did not. So it's going to be interesting where this ball comes into play, because the original Optimum Idol was very smooth, real slow. So I'm kind of expecting the same thing out of this, but with a pearl cover on it. So it should be a little bit quicker. I don't know. We'll see. That ain't gonna hook. Yeah. Not enough rotation, and it got to that spot that I was talking about. So we're gonna have to make our adjustment with some rotation now. See what we can do. And I haven't touched any of these bowling balls with surface. This one nor that Ascent, we didn't hit them with surface. We left them right out of box. Now I will touch them before the PBA events, but not for the review. I want you to be able to see what they do right out of box. So, all right, here we go. We're gonna rotate it just a little bit more in that same spot. Almost identical. Still didn't put through that little bit of hang. And that's the pearl cover, just pushing it down there. Pearl cover, just pushing it all the way down the lane, not giving it much of a chance to pick up soon enough. This ball would look really good with a little bit more surface on it, but this is the slowness that I was talking about, the slow core with a quicker cover. Doesn't quite make up for it, but that's okay. Now we'll just start moving everything left, break point and everything left, where I'm trying to get the ball to down lane. See what this does. This is that spot that the Ascent looked really good. Yeah, so the Ascent picked up a little earlier and really looked good there. Whereas this one, pearl cover, again, getting it further down the lane. So just keep in mind, like, just because it's a pearl cover stock, that doesn't mean that it's always going to be super quick response. It doesn't mean that it's gonna see friction and go dead left all the time. That's not how it always works. It just means it's a pearl cover, so it's gonna get it further down the lane. Now let's see if I can throw that same shot. I'm gonna try to slow down just a little to get it to get through the pins. That's the problem. So now you slow down and you do make the pearl cover a little bit more responsive. So then it over responds. So now that forces you to go left, but you still got to stay slower to make sure it gets through the pins. So this is why we do use a little scratchy scratch on these to give them surface so they pick up sooner. Because sometimes you do need the little bit cleaner cover than what a normal solid would be. But then you want it to still pick up just a little bit more, but not as much as a solid cover would. So, all right, we got 5 left. Nice and slow, rotate around it. Yeah, so now you can see it gets there and makes that quick whip to get there, get to the pocket. Not necessarily what I would be looking for if I'm looking for ball reaction, but I know some of y'all like to see that, so this might be a ball that you like. I think this ball is going to be really good when you have high friction. You got a high friction place that will let you play straighter. I think this ball is going to be rock solid for that. All right, we're going to get against the ball return now. We're going to stay slow. We're going to rotate it and see what happens. That hook? Yeah, so it's just too far down lane. Too far, too quick. But I mean, you could see what it's capable of. You can definitely see this ball really, really, really get going down lane now. It's just too far down lane. So if I were to take my choice, I would be touching the surface a little bit. Maybe hit it with like a 3000 pad just to get that shine off of it. Because then we take like, here you go, I'll give you the comparison. We'll go back to the Ascent, the Summit Ascent. And get in front of the ball return there, the same spot, and see if the Summit gets through the pins. So that's the difference. So the Summit just picks up just that fraction sooner. You know, it's got that solid cover that picks up just a little bit earlier. So the Optimum Idol Pearl and this is going to be a great 1-2 punch in my opinion. Between the Optimum Idol Pearl, I mean, because the Optimum Idol is going to be the slower version. So it would be like start with Optimum Idol, then go to Ascent, Summit Ascent, and then to the Optimum Idol Pearl at the end when you need a cleaner ball. Great 1-2-3 punch for league right there, folks. Now let's get in front of the ball return. We'll really spin this one out. Make sure it goes sideways. There you go. All right, there you go. So we'll end on that. That's a pretty good little shape you can see there. Obviously with the Optimum Idol Pearl, much further down lane than you saw with something like the Summit Ascent, which isn't a bad thing. That's exactly what you're looking for. It's not a crazy shape like a virtual energy blackout. It's not something that's getting down lane and going dead sideways. You can make it go sideways like you saw there when I 4-9, but a lot of the times you're never gonna be trying to make the ball do that. You have bowling balls that do that. Why try to make a ball do that when you have them in your bag? So this is gonna be a good 1-2 punch. When the Ascent, Summit Ascent is actually a little bit, starts to get too slow or too early maybe, then you can go to the Optimum Idol Pearl. Because you're probably going to start with something like the original Optimum Idol, the solid, and then you can kind of go down the progressions from there. So hopefully this helps. Both of these balls are going to be over at BowlerX.com. Make sure to get yours. There's going to be a link in the description for that Optimum Idol Pearl. Make sure to click that. Head over to 10pindoctors.com, sign up for the membership where you can learn all kinds of things about the game, not just bowling balls, but all the techniques that go into the game. With the membership, you get free virtual clinics and stuff like that you're involved with me. You get a lot of teaching, a lot of the knowledge bases on there. So make sure to head over there, sign up for that. But until next time, guys, I'm out of here. We'll see you guys later. Take care.